Hello, my name is Mike and welcome to my love affair with the musicals. We're going to start our first episode talking about Judy Garland because with me, pretty much everything starts with Judy. So I got my first album in 1963 and then here and there I started collecting her albums. I didn't realize I'd become, I hate to use the word obsessive because it's such a fun thing for me to do. To this day, we're talking many decades later, to this day I just love getting my Judy albums. I probably have now over 350. Isn't that weird? I know it's weird. To this day, I love getting Judy albums. Now, let's see, before eBay, before the computer, it was very impressive. I know I had 176 Judy albums. Now, again, remember, this is before internet. So, I discovered eBay, and I had all the American albums. I knew that. But there's a world out there. America's this little country compared to the whole world. And I started collecting and collecting. I probably collected maybe 200 more albums in the past 10 years. I just love it. Now, this is exciting. I'm going to get up for a second. 2 days ago, I got Judy. At Christmas, every few months, I go to eBay. Now, sometimes 6 months goes by, but at Christmas time, I thought, we always buy gifts for other people, and then we also buy gifts for ourselves. So I'd buy a gift for my sister, and then I'd buy a little Judy album. It's Christmas. And I have to tell you, I have never spent more than $50 for an album. I probably haven't spent much more than $25 an album. It's not expensive. Okay, so anybody who wants to collect Judy albums, you don't really have to go over $25, $50. But sometimes the postage, like from Japan, from China, so it's sometimes I'm paying more for the postage, but again, it gives me pleasure, so I do it. Okay, so shall we open our little, see? Oh, I have no idea. I know it's one of 3 albums, but I don't know which one. Now, I'm usually very good at opening them, because I've been doing this for a whole 10 years now. Okay. This is kind of exciting for me. I have a Judy album. Okay. What do we... Ah, yes, we are from Japan. Isn't that exciting? So, this is an old Decca album. I mean, it's actually new. Decca was sold to MCA many years ago, somewhere in the mid-60s. They did reprint all of the Judy albums. I don't necessarily like collecting reprints. But obviously with all the albums I have a bunch of them. Okay. So, yes, it's still gatefold. I don't know why they call it gatefold. When you open it up, if anybody knows out there, you're welcome to write in. Now I have this in English, of course. In fact, I probably have 8 of this album with different covers. Okay, and this is the album, which the label. Now, of course, somebody who's into collecting albums, it's not just the cover, it's also the labels. So on a lot of my albums, it has the exact same cover, but it's a different label. So of course I had to get it. Okay, well this is fun. All right, so we'll put this down now. All right, but now we're going to get to an album that wasn't really that big. It wasn't successful at all. It was recorded 2 years before Judy passed away. And it was called Judy at the Palace. Again, these all look like the same covers. But, okay, we're here. Now, see, this says Amper. And these are foreign. This says Amper. Same thing. This says EMI. All right, this was an ABC in America. This is a stereo version, ABC. And then, of course, I have the mono, right? Because, you have to get everyone. So this is the mono. And then there's one more. What could this be? All right, this is another stereo ABC. I'm going to take a look because there is something different about it that I totally forgot. What? It must be the label. So let's take a look. Okay, so this says Spartan Records. A little blue. I don't know why it says Spartan because it doesn't. Oh, I see. Shame on me. It actually says Spartan on the bottom. So it's not ABC. So, Spartan, they're all subsidiaries of ABC. All right, so I showed those 5 of the exact same covers of Judy at the Palace. But, lo and behold, these are other Judy. All right, now this, you know, I know what I'm doing is a little silly. I love it, so I don't care, but it's a little silly. I was actually at Amoeba Records in Hollywood, and they had this. This is Judy at the Palace. All right? Then I saw this on eBay, and I said, wait a second, these are different colors. Well, this to me is the silliest thing, because you can hardly even tell they're different colors. Okay, this is from Mexico. Kind of funny that this would be the cover of Judy at the Palace, because it looks like it would be movie stuff, right? It's a very young picture of Judy. Okay, now this actually is a picture of Judy at the Palace in '67, all right? So this is very appropriate, okay? This is also in Spanish. I think it's from Spain, right? This is Japanese. Now you can see the whole cover. There's no English whatsoever. This is not a picture of Judy at the Palace, so it's kind of funny, but I had been looking for this one for years, and I was so excited when I finally got it. All right, so that's this, yes. And then we have this, again, all Judy at the Palace. Now this is one of my favorite albums. I saved the best till last. This, again, Judy at the Palace. Now this is, right, the same picture. There's this everywhere, isn't there? All right, this is the same thing. Why do I love... Now, I just got this maybe 2 months ago. I just love it. I just love it. Isn't it kind of like Andy Warhol? It's not Andy Warhol, mind you. But I think what they were trying to do was make it look like a silk screen of Andy Warhol, because this is what he did. So, when Judy did the Palace in 1951, it was very successful. It went over. She got a special Tony for it. It was great. Okay, so then she went back in 1957, and then 67, where they cleaned up the Palace again. You know, it went into disarray yet again. The Palace was the famous theater of the early 1900s. If you see the old movies, if you played the Palace, that's what they meant. You played the Palace in New York, and you hit the top. All right, so she did it 3 times. By 1967, Judy had probably 300 comebacks, because her life, you can't describe her life in one word. Sloppy, maybe that's a word. Makes for wonderful reading. Marriages, divorces. You know the song by Stephen Sondheim, I'm Still Here. That's kind of Judy. She's been at she was at the top, she was at the bottom, she was in between. It is amazing. She was first filmed in 1929 when she was born in 22, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She's 7 years old. She didn't have the Judy voice, but she stayed on pitch, very much like Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple didn't have a good voice when in those musicals, but she could stay on pitch. Not that she could extend it and bring any passion to it, but I mean, we're talking, you know, pre-10 years old. These people were very talented. But at 12 years old, I have recordings, and the Judy that we all know was there. That voice was already there. It's almost scary. She sounds like a mature singer who understood the words. Now she's singing about love lost. I mean, this is pre-puberty, right? And she's singing these as if she understood the words. And you remember her singing Over the Rainbow. Mind you, this is a 17-year-old singing this. She sounded damn good, didn't she? I mean, really, for 17, what are you, 11th grade at 17? But of course she'd been doing, you know, it was probably her 10th movie, The Wizard of Oz. But it took 10 movies before, you know, it's always that one movie that gets, or the one recording for a recording artist, that gets them on the map. And then their careers really start. So then you have the 1950s where she signed for Capitol, and these are studio recordings. And of course she's in great voice, because if she wasn't, you know, they're recordings. It wasn't recorded live. But Judy is really captured best in live. She is one of those people who really thrive on live. In some of her albums, she even had an audience there, because she knew it too. Then the 60s where, oh God, what is the word? She was, you know, good and bad. What is the word I'm thinking of? You know, inconsistent. Very inconsistent. You see some TV shows, she had a weight problem a lot of her life, but it wasn't just that she would gain weight. She looked bloated. And she was. She was not a healthy person. She looked fantastic in her TV show in 63, 64, and it was in black and white. She had a photographic memory. She didn't need a lot of rehearsal, but you can tell from those shows they're a little sloppy, and they're fantastic. I mean, when you think in the early 60s, and her show lasted less than a year. But who were doing the variety shows then? We have Andy Williams, yeah, very nice voice, but a little boring. Perry Como, very nice voice, but a little boring. Dinah Shore, very nice voice, but a little boring. And then Judy, who wasn't boring at all. She's making mistakes. She's laughing. She's doing it. Some shows, you could hardly hear her. Other shows, she is so spot on. But it was inconsistent. And of course, by the 60s, she was always high. You have to get used to that in listening to Judy. I don't think she really ever stopped using. I mean, she was well into addiction by 17, and that's a very sad story of, you know, giving a very young woman, a very young girl, pills to lose weight. Not good. So by 17, she was well on her way to addiction. So 60s is inconsistent, but I'm a Judy nut, right? So I can do inconsistent. I have 3 albums from 1969. Her voice is shot, the poor dear. It's really gone, but I gotta tell you, her spirit is there. She was still giving 1,000%. Very interesting. It's funny, the thing about Judy, and you know, when I play my Judy albums, and I do play these albums, I don't just think I collect them. I love her voice. I really think she was the best singer of all of them. She could do those fast, bombastic, big songs, and she could do those mellow, slow songs that brought tears to your eyes. I mean, she had the talent. Okay, so we're at the end of the first episode of My Love Affair with the Musicals. I have to tell you, you know, talking about Judy, it kind of got me excited. So I think my next episode, we're going to continue on Judy. We may have a few episodes on Judy. So thank you for listening to me. We're going to revisit Judy next week, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.